everyone, welcome to Veronika Hug. Today I'm going to show you how you can do a really pretty top with our Woolly Hugs sheep that you see right in front of me, and you see these lovely color combinations which you can of course adjust to according to your own taste. So let's get started. So you're going to need the Woolly Hugs sheep that you can see here. And these are pretty small, so you're going to need 10 of these, so 10 balls, or 500 grams total, and this is 110 meters per ball. So you can see here the colors, and of course these are up to you. And I just wanted to kind of try and mix these two, so the minty one and then the grayish minty combination here. So I'll show you both of these are exactly the same, so it's 50% wool, 28% cotton, and 22% polyamide. And if you'd like this color, it's number 30. And yeah, as I said, it's 110 meters per each ball, so you do have quite a length there. And yeah, we can get started right away. Oh, also, I want to show you what I used. So this is my little set of crocheting hooks, actually Tunisian crocheting hooks, because you see they have these little lines on their ends. So let me just put this all together and then we'll get started right away. And you're gonna need this double crocheting needle, and you're gonna see why. And these two hooks are all we're gonna need for today. And let's start with our pattern. And this time we're gonna need a number that is dividable by 9, so a multiple of 9 plus the 2 stitches for the edges. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit less than what you would actually need for your top, but of course I want this to be a relatively short video, so I'm gonna show you a smaller one, but you're gonna do the exact same thing with more stitches. So that's why I'm not gonna need the line, but you are definitely gonna need one if you're doing the top. So I'm gonna do 2 times 9, the 18, plus the 2 more, that's 20 total. So we're chaining 20 to get started. And 20. Now we're going to turn the chains a little bit to the front like this, and then we're going to go into this back section, and we're going to pull our thread with us, and we're just going to get started with our stitches. So as you know, with Tunisian crocheting, we're not finishing one stitch at a time. Instead, we're starting all of them and then we're finishing all of them after that. So per each chain you see, you just do a stitch. And this is how you always start projects with Tunisian crocheting. Here you can see why we went into the back sections, because that way you get a really nice looking edge. And here the last, or actually the first chain. And yeah, you can always check if everything's all right. So you should always have 20 stitches if you did 20 chains. That's how you know if you missed any by accident. And now we're going to start with the second row by doing a chain here. And then we're going to take our thread and we're going to go through 2 loops at a time. all the way until we get to the other end. And just keep going. And by finishing this row, we have our first front and back row done. So this is our base. And now we have our loop on our hook. That's our first stitch. And we're starting out of this diagonal piece. Each diagonal piece gets a new stitch on top. And always take your thread with you from going from the bottom. And now we're gonna have our back row again. So we're chaining one here for the height. And then we're gonna do 2 loops at a time. And then after I do 2 times through 2 loops, this time I'm gonna go once through 3 loops. There we go. After that comes a chain, and then 2 again, and 1 chain after that. And then we're gonna do 3 loops as one, or 3 together. After that, we're gonna do 4 times 2. 4, there we go. And now we keep repeating 4 times 2. 3 times and 2 more. And that's 4. Now we're doing, again, 3 loops at once. There we go, 3, then 1 chain, and then through 2 loops, then 1 more chain, and then again through 3. Okay, so let's repeat in case this was a little bit fast. So 4 times 2, once 3, 1 chain, then 2, 1 chain, and 3 together. And that's what you repeat. And then you do 3 times the 2 done together. That was the back row. So after we do this, we can continue again with the front row, and it's going to be again the same deal. So we're starting with our diagonal side pieces, and we're going just taking out new stitches. But so when you get to the section where you did the 2, you're going to see 2 diagonal pieces or loops next to each other. So you're going to do those as one, and then the chain here, you're just going to go through it and take your yarn with you back, and then you repeat that again. So through the chains you actually go through, and with the 2 pieces you go through both as if they were just one. And as you can see, we keep repeating the exact same thing, so it's just a matter of getting the hang of it, and then it's gonna go really fast. Four single ones, then 2, then under the chain through, then 1, under the chain again, and 2. And then we end with 2 single ones, and here at the end we go through both to get a nice edge. And now we can go back, so we're chaining 2 for the height, and then we're going through 2 times 2 loops, once through 3 loops, then 1 chain, through 2, a chain, and then through 3. And now we're again gonna repeat 2 times through, or 4 times through 2 here, then through 3 loops, 1 chain, through 2, 1 chain, and again the rest through 2. And this is what you're going to keep repeating. And you're always going to end with 3 times 2 loops. And then we're again starting new chains. So always out of the diagonal pieces, I'll show you in a moment. Okay, so the first 2 are just the 1 diagonal piece here, 1 loop, and then the 2 or the doubled one, and then don't forget to go through the chains completely through to get a stitch out of there too. So depending on what you see, you know what to do. The doubled ones you do as 1, the regular diagonal one you do as always, and you go through chains to not forget them in the process. Then we go back with a chain for the height, 2 times through 2, once through 3, a chain, through 2, a chain, and through 3. Then 4 times through 2. And this is always going to stay the same. Once through 3, chain, through 2, chain, and through 3 again. And this is what you keep repeating. So 1, 2, 3, 4 times through the 1, then the 3 together, a chain, 2 together, a chain, and 3 again, and then you end with 3 times 2 loops. So I recommend doing this for a little bit just so you get the hang of it and you learn the numbers and you don't have to think about them so much. And you should have 11 rows at 10 stitches or 10 centimeters of height. And yeah, that way you can kind of plan the size for your own top. But yeah, you can see the structure here, what it looks like. I think it's really interesting, and as you can see, it's not difficult to do. And then for a regular size, so I think that would be an M for your top, you would do 200 stitches. 198 is dividable or a multiple of 9, and then the 2 for the edges. And then you would work this exact same thing until you have 50 centimeters of height for your piece. And then you would finish off your stitches. So you would basically do slip stitches on top of each stitch that you have here. And yeah, the exact same thing as before. If they're doubled, you do them as 1. Underneath the chain, you just go through and do a slip stitch, and you just continue till you get to the end of the row. So you just do the stitches as you see them with slip stitches. And you keep repeating this until you get to the end of your row, and the last one you always do as you just saw through the 2 loops. That way you get the exact same beginning as the ending edge, and I think it looks a lot neater that way. Then you can cut off or shorten your yarn if you have extra. And then you would have here the entire width and the height as well. And yeah, then what we would do is fold in half like this. I'm going to show you on the mini piece, but it's the same thing. And then here on the left and the right, you would have your sections for your sleeves, so where your arms are going to go and your shoulders. And then you're going to start from the side, and you're going to do stitches to connect your bottom 20 centimeters, and that's all that you want to do. So the top should have about 16 centimeters for your sleeves. You can of course adjust this, but yeah, you're just connecting this and putting it together. So I have 16 plus 20 is 36, and then that should be the half of your full height here. Of course, you can see how tiny this is, but I'm just showing you the method. So this is a mini version of it, maybe for a doll, but yeah, you can do the exact same thing in an adult size. And when you finish it off, you shorten it, cut off the leftovers, weave in a little bit, and then you can do the exact same thing on the other end. And while I do this, I wanted to recommend subscribing on my channel, because that way you can see all kinds of different projects. I do crocheting and knitting and Tunisian crocheting, so feel free to check that out. Okay, and now we're just gonna have the top. So I'm gonna do this in rounds, and this is where you're gonna need your doubled crochet hook. So I'm again starting all of my stitches out of the edges, or actually out of the edge sections, but my diagonal pieces as always. And then when you have enough stitches on your hook, you can take your other piece of yarn, so your other ball, and you're finishing it off. So first you're starting with a chain and then through 2 at a time until you get to the end. And this is how you do Tunisian crocheting in rounds. When you have no more stitches or very little stitches left, then you just turn it around and you start with new stitches on the other side. And then I'm going back as soon as my hook is full and I can't get any more stitches on here, finish that off, and then again turn and get started with other stitches. I'm almost finishing the entire circle, so I'm almost there. And then I come here to the first round and I can connect, and then we just continue with one purl, one knit, one purl, one knit stitch. And then again I'm pulling on the other side or finishing off my stitches so that I free up my hook as well. And then we do another round, and the easy thing about this is if you see a purl stitch, you do a knit stitch here, and if you see a knit stitch, you do a purl stitch. So always the opposite of what you see. And you would do 5 more rounds like this, and then you're completely done. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, feel free to shoot me a thumbs up to let me know. If you'd like to see other projects, as I said, feel free to subscribe to my channel. And I just wanted to say thanks for watching and see you in our next project. Bye!